Okay, hello there guys. So, before we go any further, obviously you've kind of figured out what today's video is about. I should give you more credit than I do. You obviously know how to read, hopefully. So before we go any further, I will say, obviously, spoilers. So if you've not seen Wrestlemania 30, leave now. This is your chance. Leave. Okay, here we go. I wanted to get out of the way because I fucking hate people who post spoilers. I had a really horrible fucking incident earlier this week. I'm currently watching Orange is the New Black. I've got like a few episodes left, and some twat that I work with, even though I said to them, I haven't got quite to the end yet, and they're like, oh, I've seen the whole first season. I'm like, well, don't say anything. Bam! Spoiler. Well, I don't get why people do that. It's like, you're just trying to prove to me that you've seen it. I didn't doubt that. But yeah, sorry, this is totally off topic. So, obviously those of you who are still here, you've seen WrestleMania 30 or you know the results. I want to talk about one thing in particular, and again, this isn't going to be a huge shock. I want to talk about The Undertaker and his streak ending. And I'm sure that there's already probably shitloads of videos of people giving their opinion on this, and I'm sure that probably all of their opinions are going to be the same as mine, so you have to forgive me if I'm just repeating a video that you've already seen. But as far as like my sort of experience with it, I watched the pay-per-view because obviously I live in England. It finished at 4 AM. I went to bed. I've got up and I'm making this video, so I've not seen anyone else's sort of video on it, though I'm sure everyone agrees from the reaction of the crowd when he lost and from the people I've spoken to on Twitter. I'm sure that like pretty much it's got to be a good 95% of the WWE universe agree with what a stupid decision it was and that it should not have gone down like that at all. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on it in full, and then I'm going to show you, for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, or for those of you who maybe haven't been on Twitter for a few hours or whatever, that I'm going to show you what I wrote on Twitter, and I asked you guys what you thought of it, so I'm going to show people what you guys, my Twitter followers or /subscribers /Lewnatics had to think about it as well. So, first of all, Brock Lesnar ending the streak. Now, I don't know fully, and I don't know if we'll ever find out, or if it's already out, whatever, who exactly, because who agreed for the streak to be ended by Brock Lesnar? Now, was it WWE? Was it Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker? We don't know, because Mark Calloway has got a lot of power backstage. Like, I'm sure that if he didn't want the streak to end, it wouldn't have to end. So obviously he was in agreement with it, or it was his suggestion. I don't know. I mean, I know that Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, is a fan of MMA. I remember seeing him at least one of Brock Lesnar's UFC matches. I think it might be the one against Randy Couture. I'm not sure. So maybe he had a say in it, like, oh, I really want Brock to end the streak because obviously Brock's a former UFC champion. If anyone's going to end the streak, it would be great for him to do it, because obviously you can say, oh, well, look, he's former UFC champion, IWGP champion, blah, blah, blah. He's got all these credentials. Good person to end the streak in Mark Calloway's eyes. He doesn't come out looking weak or anything, because he took like 3 F5s before he, didn't kick out of the pin. It could have been Mark Calloway, or it could have just been the stupid creative team of WWE, or it could be a combination of both. I'll give you like my... Basically, I'll just let you know how I am as a wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan for years and years, and a couple of years back, I stopped watching altogether because it pissed me off so much. For WWE, TNA, I watched a lot. I've got a shitload of wrestling DVDs from WCW, ECW, blah, 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 like, that I've got off the internet and things. I know my shit, basically. Okay, I'm not totally up on more recent events. I did, a couple of weeks ago, start rewatching TNA Impact. I'm starting to wonder why I've bothered. I don't have Sky Sports currently, so... Sky Sports, for people who don't live in the UK, is what WWE is currently showed on. So I haven't really watched Raw in quite a while. But I've always watched WrestleMania. I've watched WrestleMania non-stop. The whole time I've stopped watching wrestling, I've always watched WrestleMania. And it's weird, I always keep up with the wrestling news, so I know who's where and stuff. I always like to know kind of what's going on, even though I haven't been watching it. So I know my shit, basically, is what I'm saying. And, like, with the booking team, I often think, like, I remember a few years ago, when Christian left TNA. And there was rumours that he was going to interfere in a match at WrestleMania. And I can't remember exactly what it was. I swear it was... Oh, shit, what was it? Basically, there's a rumour going around that he was going to be involved in a storyline. And he was going to turn out to be... Fucking hell, this is really bad. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, the point was, Christian was going to be returning. They knew he'd be re-signed. And everyone kind of knew what the storyline was where he was going to come back. I think it was going to be to feud with Jeff Hardy, or... No, yeah, it might have been. And that was the rumour on the internet and stuff. And then WWE creative team, booking team, whatever, obviously saw all this, and they're like, oh god, we want to keep it unpredictable, or whatever. And then, in the end, what happened was Christian just ended up coming back into ECW, their third brand at the time, the shit brand. And I never used to watch ECW, I used to watch Raw and SmackDown. I never knew Christian even returned, because it's just... they didn't really announce it very well. It was a waste of a storyline, basically, just because the booking team wanted to go, hey, look, we showed you smart-ass wrestling fans that, you don't all know it all. And I just wonder whether maybe the streak was ended because of that. Maybe they were like, no one saw that coming, which is a waste. Yeah, no one did see it coming, because maybe people actually thought, yeah, you guys are stupid, but you can't be that stupid. Why end the streak with Brock Lesnar? Like I said before, Brock Lesnar. Several-time world champion, IWGP champion, UFC champion. The guy's a main eventer for life. He does not need a push. He only works part-time. Him ending the streak is nothing to him. It's not needed. If you're going to end the streak, do it to some up-and-coming talent that could use that boost. Someone who's not got a lot going on, like going in, a young wrestler that has got his whole career ahead of him, ends the streak he's made. He's a star. You've created another star, and that's what wrestling's all about, is creating more stars. You've just furthered the bullshit kind of stereotype, well, I don't even know if it's a stereotype, that you guys just are shit at pushing people. You're just terrible. Especially now that Triple H is, like, fully in control of the locker room. I mean, the fact that it made me laugh that the New Age Outlaws are back in WWE. I mean, obviously, like I said, I've not watched Raw, so this was kind of news to me. I'm like, what the fuck? The New Age Outlaws are back. Oh, of course, they're buddies with Triple H. Obviously, Batista's back and he's in the main event at WrestleMania, even though he returned not that long ago, because he's buddies with Triple H. I'm going way off topic here, but this is why I stopped watching wrestling, because it's one of these things like, if I watch the UFC, and there's two fighters, and I want one to win really badly, but that guy loses, I'll be like, well, at the end of the day, unless it was like a bogus referee call or whatever, like, the match was stopped too prematurely, you can't really grumble, because it's like, well, this guy beat that guy fair and square. Whereas with wrestling, it's scripted. So you are going to be pissed off because you think, who wrote this shit? It's like if you see a bad film, or if you watch 7 seasons of The Sopranos and then watch the finale. You're like, who wrote this shit? That's the thing, wrestling's got an advantage over everything because it's written. And who the fuck wrote that? It was absolutely dumb. I wasted $17.95. Usually I work early on the Monday because I was going to be up till 4 even. I had to sort out and get the day off, which was a bit of a, well, it's not a massive hassle, but do you know what I mean? Like, if I knew this bullshit was going to occur, I wouldn't have bothered. So basically, like I say, my thoughts, waste of opportunity here. I mean, obviously, one of the main reasons I bought the pay-per-view was because of, I'm a huge fan of Sting. I have been like way back since the WCW days. And I really wanted Sting. My ideal scenario was that obviously Undertaker was going to keep his streak, and then maybe, the whole arena would go black, and then Sting would be in the rafters pointing down with a baseball bat at the Undertaker, and, everyone being like, oh my god, what the hell? Obviously that didn't happen, and what did happen was just fucking stupid. Yeah, well done, WWE writers, you surprised everyone, we didn't see that come in, but not for, the right reasons. It wasn't good. And then what made me laugh is, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I would imagine that they didn't tell King JB Allen Cole, because their reactions were priceless. Like, just the whole reaction of the arena was spot on. Hats off to them. Like, they reacted exactly how I reacted. It's like, what the fuck? And then the fact that they brought out that shitty diva battle royale afterwards. It's like, oh my god, really? You're going to bring these people out now who are shit at the best of times? You know, it was bad. Really bad booking. Like, I bet the divas were like, oh my god, we have to follow that. Really, we haven't got that much going for us anyway. Like, but how terrible the WWE Women's Division is another time. I don't, you know, there's plenty. I'm not slagging off women wrestling, by the way. There's plenty of talented women wrestlers out there. They just don't work in WWE. Some of them do, but you know, they're not really given. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, absolute waste of money, waste of getting up. And you'd think that the #1 wrestling company in the world would know what they're fucking doing. But they don't. Anyway, I'm going to bring up Twitter, like my tweets from yesterday on the screen now, and I'm going to then show you what you guys thought of it. So let's take a look at that.
Okay then, so we'll start off with looking at my tweets on the whole thing. I mean, what better way to sort of like hear my thoughts and my reactions and seeing exactly what I tweeted the moments that all this shit went down. I actually said to myself that I was going to stay off Twitter during this pay-per-view, and I didn't come on Twitter to talk about it until this shit went down. It's quite a bad habit of mine, like when I'm watching The Walking Dead and stuff, I tend to like tweet through the whole episode, and I want to get out of this habit, but I can't help it, so here we go anyway. So I started here with this one, which is just simply, what the fuck, Lesnar? Which obviously was my initial reaction when it happened. When it happened, and that moment when the referee hit 3, and Lesnar's music didn't play for quite a while, I thought that there was going to be some sort of announcement or something saying, well, hang on a second, that didn't count because blah, blah, blah. Some sort of shit like that was going to happen, but that moment never came. So, anyway, on to the next tweet. What was the point in that? Which, obviously, I'd still like to know the answer to that question. Next one. How'd you kill an atmosphere? WWE did it perfectly. Horrible. Horrible booking. What a fucking waste. I don't even want to watch the shitty main event now. Obviously, I'm feeling quite bitter and like just like, ugh, WWE, you've let us down again. Haha, how do you follow that? Alright, a Diva Battle Royale, for fuck's sake. Not even Daniel Bryan's inevitable title win will cheer that crowd up now. Even King, JBL and Cole seem to have lost interest. I pity the fool who had the WWE booking team. Sucker. Oh my god, Daniel Bryan overcame the odds. Hashtag predictable. Hashtag Wrestlemania. Hashtag rather be watching TNA, and that's saying something. Who even cares anymore? Definitely making a rant video tomorrow. As you can see, I'm true to my word. Nothing can save Mania now, not even if Goldberg returned. Hell, they could sign Jesus Christ, it still wouldn't matter. I think WCW making David Arquette champion was a smarter booking decision than ending the streak. Daniel's big moment will forever be tarnished by WWE's poor booking decision with the streak. And finally, to sum it all up, wish I didn't stay up till 4 AM and waste $17.95 on that shit. So, as you can see, like, that's pretty much my opinion. So, yeah, bet you didn't see that coming. Okay, so now let's look at what you guys have said. Let's start with this one with Renegade Operative. Brock ended the streak. Are you fucking kidding me, WWE? Are you fucking kidding me? And then he goes on, and the match wasn't even that good. Horrible fucking decision. Horrible fucking way to end the streak. He's bang on there. The match was terrible. I didn't expect it to be that good anyway, with like Brock Lesnar isn't exactly like a fast-paced wrestler, and obviously the Undertaker's quite old, and you know he's way past his best, let's face it. But you know, the atmosphere for that match, and if the outcome had been different, it wouldn't have been that. It would have been an acceptable match, but the fact that it was a shit match and then the outcome was terrible, well, that just was the icing on the cake, really, wasn't it? Okay, and this next tweet from Philosophicals. Can you just hear that crowd? Lol, there won't be anything from the crowd now. You don't end a streak like that. True, unless you're WWE booking team and you're a fucking idiot. From Splosia. I hope that's how you say that. I assume it is. Was WWE creative team high or something? You'd hope so, but probably not, given like their history of making stupid fucking decisions. Back to philosophicals. It would have been okay if it was a 21-1 as long as something happened at the end of it to build up a massive rivalry, but nothing. Oh no, that would require a WWE creative team to be thinking long term, and that's something they're not good at. Dragon Killer, I don't know how you say that. Dragon Killer without the A and or O. They should have just let him lose to CM Punk before. Lesnar needs no push and really didn't deserve the right to end the streak. Totally agreed. Okay, next tweet from Amanda Page TV. I can't even think of words of how disrespected I feel over Lesnar. They could have given it to anyone else, but not him. And again from Amanda Page TV, I feel disrespected, that is all I can say. I stopped watching after Edge left, but out of all the people, they pick him. Brock was an awful, awful choice to end the streak. Made no sense. Back to Renegade Operative. Seemed like a scripted screw job, and that's how it is in the WWE Universe. Screw job equals ratings, sadly. It was absolute trash. 0 out of 10. I think you're being very generous with that rating there. Dorian_S White. I was completely stunned. Not saying that's a bad thing, but why Brock and not someone younger? Very good question. Date Jeff. The only thing I can imagine is maybe Taker told WWE at the last minute that he's finished. Otherwise, why Lesnar? Yeah, that could have happened, but yeah, that's a good theory actually. And again, I'm going to say Dragon Killer or DRGN Killer. Of course, Bryan wins. Too bad no one gives a fuck now. Precisely, his moment was robbed from him by the WWE's poor booking decision of the streak. J-Man 1993-15. The fucking flying fuck, what was that shit? That's a very good reaction. Again from J-Man 1993-15. I would rather have seen John Cena ended the streak, and that took every fibre in my soul to type this. Mad Dog 2670. The best thing about WrestleMania was the streak ending, and that wasn't even a good thing. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it will be remembered for. Again, Mad Dog, what a waste of £18. I know how you feel. I did the same thing and was bored for 4 hours, and I'm a wrestling fan.
Okay, guys, so there you have it. As you can see, you guys all agreed that the streak ending was a bad move. It seems that the whole WWE Universe is also in agreement, and to finalise now, all I can say is I'm done again with WWE. I can't be bothered. You know, I probably will end up watching next year's WrestleMania, but from then, like from now till fucking hell, fuck that up. From then till do that all again. Okay, guys, so there you go. As you can see, you guys are pretty much all in agreement with me, and it seems like the whole WWE Universe were all in agreement that the streak ending was a bad move. I hate that, the fucking WWE Universe. It sounds so stupid, but yeah. All I can say is, personally, I'm done with WWE. Again, I'm done. I mean, I'll probably end up watching WrestleMania 31 next year, but from like now till then, I've got like a year to sort of like heal and get over how fucking stupid it was. But I shouldn't watch wrestling, it makes me angry. And, oh, again, one of the things with the streak ending, the whole, it should have been Daniel Bryan's night. That was the right thing. I mean, obviously it was so predictable that Daniel Bryan was going to win the world title and overcome the odds. It was obvious. But it was going to be nice to see anyway. But the fact that it followed the Undertaker's losing his streak, WrestleMania 30 is not going to be remembered for the rise of Daniel Bryan. It's going to be the awful decision WWE made to end the streak, which is a shame. It's a terrible shame. But yeah, what do you expect from WWE and their shitty booking team? Alright then, guys, well, thank you very much for watching. Let me know, as always, your thoughts, like in the comments section, and you know, if there's anyone out there that actually thinks that it was a good idea, then please enlighten me and everyone else as to why that was a good move. I'd love to hear it. Other than the fact that no one saw it coming. Yeah, no one did see it coming. Maybe we fucking should have. Maybe the rule now should be watch a WWE pay-per-view and think, what's the worst thing that anyone could write for this scenario, and then expect it. because that seems to be the way. Alright then guys, well, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a terrific day, everybody.